We are live. There we go. Hopefully it stays. Well, hello there, parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. Let's talk paranormal live. I am your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co host, Marianne Donnelly.
We are live here from Backup Plan here in the living room. Actually, we had three people waiting, and now it says zero. Oh, there's one back. Sleeping Artist ASMR. Are you able to see us and hear us okay? Let us know. Marianne's waiting on ads.
That's right.
You can skip the ad, and I'll give you a penny. How is everybody doing today? Can you guys hear us okay?
Here. Murad's Haunted Adventures and Andrew Kitchens have joined us.
Looks
too.
good. Yes, I can see you and hear you fine. All right. Well, it has been a while since we've been live.
That it has.
Been over a month, right?
Yes. We put a couple of regular videos in between. But as far as going live, we've taken a little bit of
break.
Yeah.
So we had to go live today. We had to, no matter what, because we're going to say goodbye to season 2 on Panic D Videos. We're wrapping it up. Our season actually starts on Veterans Day, but then we delayed it like a week after. So about mid-November, we come back with the locations, roughly. But normally we're traveling.
That's right.
So we got to do a little work ahead of time so those videos can come out while we're traveling. But all right, so who's we got here? I saw people popping in.
I did as well.
I can't read it. Who do we have here?
Riser's Treasure Hunting Emporium is here. Murad's Haunted Adventures, Andrew Kitchens, Sleeping Artist ASMR, and Annette Reagan.
Well, hello. So just a couple things we wanted to talk about. We'll probably try to go 45 minutes to an hour ish.
Like normal,
providing everything works out okay. So far, we've been doing good for about 2 minutes. So, little update on the Facebook issue. We tried to go live on Facebook, Halloween. And yeah, something's definitely not right. Actually, got kicked off of Facebook for 24 hours after that.
Yeah, they said they thought you were being
suspicious activity.
I guess you don't go live on there very often, huh? It's suspicious when you do.
I tried to get it to work four times and it kicked me off. So there's definitely something wrong with our internet, which I'm going to have to look at. And I'm kind of wondering if it's the cable that might be an issue, but haven't had time to take a look at that yet. So we'll get that going for season 2, so we're back in the studio to do the live streams, and Boris can come back with us and all that.
Well, actually, we have a Boris sitting over there. You should grab him.
You should.
I should, but I'm holding this.
What was that? Something about a hotel.
I was live at the Clown Motel on Halloween.
Ooh, how was that?
That place is kind of creepy. Did you have a good time? What'd you find? Did the clowns come to life? That's right.
Ooh. Oh, too far.
There's a cemetery 30 feet away from the Clown Motel. I'm just sitting here circling, but
are you connected downstairs?
I am.
Refresh. All right, so what else we got going on? You had some this day in history type stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Haunted history type stuff.
I do.
We're going to talk about that. Do a little recap of season 2. I don't have my laptop, so you might have to bring it up so we can talk about the locations that we covered in season 2. Providing you have internet service.
Well, it doesn't seem that I do.
Oh, great. Let me grab my cell phone. Oh, wait, we're using it. So what do you guys got going on today? I mean, Halloween, we had some awesome wind and rain and crazy stuff going on. And where we live decided that they're not going to cancel trick or treat, so we thought, we're not going to get anybody. And this year we got the most we've had like ever trick or treaters. We had 10 this year. How many did you guys have? Did you guys do trick or treat? Did you have trick or treaters? How many did you have?
They stand on the way back. They went to an abandoned brothel and went live on their way home too. By the way, so yeah, if you had more or less trick or treaters this year than last, go ahead and send us a quick message, and we'll see it over there.
Getting over illness, passed on Halloween duties to Mrs. R.
Mm. And Andrew had 5 whole kids stop for his Halloween.
We had 10 this year, and that's like the most we've ever had. Ever. You said you're connected downstairs?
I am. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not connecting anything really for down there, but every now and again I get some of the chat. So, all right, what else you got there, Mister John?
We only had a dozen or so tornado watch in effect, though. Wow. I didn't catch the next one.
The kids were afraid to go.
Yeah, so some communities around here have actually postponed it till tomorrow.
Some did it today, and some are doing it tomorrow. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids at school, they were like, "Oh my gosh, really? Trick or treating in November?" But yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of like that too. It's like every year, like maybe 2, 3, and with the big windstorm and rain and all that stuff we had 10. And I was sitting actually right here. I was sitting watching when it hit, and we saw this big chicken. This thing was one of the big blow up chickens, like waddling down the road, and that poor kid was fighting the wind like crazy coming down the driveway. They're like blowing like crazy. I was like laughing.
I asked him if he was gonna take flight, and they're like, "We think he might."
Yeah, there was a big chicken blown around. I don't know what was some of the other costumes. I only saw the chicken.
To be honest, most of them weren't really
dressed
costume.
up. They were just
kind of came.
Like the people from the Weather Channel, like fighting the hurricane.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people were going to get in because there was a problem on YouTube where it put this that we were going to go live at 8.
What?
We've never gone live at 8 on Saturday. In 2 years we've been doing this. So
but it said it
this
was
morning,
on us.
well, this morning it said 5. Yesterday it said 8. And I didn't change anything. So like something with Eastern time or something.
Or maybe it was like doing out west time.
I don't know. It's the first time I actually set it up on the phone and then was able to do so. I'm gonna have to check that, if I ever go to do this again. But I like being able to set it up on the phone and then modify the thumbnail and everything on the laptop, which this would be great for when we're traveling. Which the next 2 weekends we're gonna be out and about. I don't know what's happening. You keep saying 3, but I don't know what's happened on the 3rd weekend because that's Thanksgiving.
No, it's not actually. So next
All right,
weekend.
so tell us the schedule, Mayor.
Next weekend, we are working our booth at the Hotel Conneaut, and we'll be doing the live. Or well, we won't post it to you live, but we're going to be doing a ghost hunt that night.
We'll go live from our room or somewhere.
Yeah. And then the following weekend is the National Association of Biology Teachers Conference in Chicago, Illinois.
In Chicago.
And the following weekend is Gettysburg for the...
That's right, Gettysburg.
Remembrance Day celebration.
Yes, we are going to Gettysburg on the 23rd. That's the 3rd.
I know.
So then it's Thanksgiving. Then the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Then the week after is Thanksgiving. Yes, Thanksgiving is a little bit later this year. Haven't you been paying attention to all the people freaking out because there's less days till Christmas?
I'm just a driver. Where are we going today, Mayor? Work. Okay. Where are we going today? Gettysburg. Okay. I don't remember anymore. It's all big blur.
Well, Huntress of the Unknown has joined us, so hello.
So those of you who are like kind of newer or newish to our channel, if you check out ourhauntedtravels.com, I'm going to say this multiple times during the show today, ourhauntedtravels.com. What I'm doing is kind of like backpedaling some of our previous videos / trips that we already put out. But as I put out new ones that we cover, The blog posts are going to come out with them too. So you can see some of the places that we've already been to. We are at 331 haunted locations that we have personally visited. So the videos that we put out, I'd say 98% of them are related to locations that we've been to. Now, there are two or three videos that are on our channel that we haven't been to yet that we talked about or related to something to talk about. That was Alcatraz and Pierre something. I forget the name. We haven't been there yet, but they're on the list.
Right. But the Alcatraz one we did in relation with
It was a
collaboration with
with
Happy Trails Hiking, who actually
who
was
actually
there.
went there personally. So I don't know that a lot of people like catch that. Like when we talk about like the first video that we did this season was the Farnsworth house. We've been there several times.
Multiple times. Yeah, every time we go to Gettysburg.
Yeah, spent there. Spent the night there
multiple times.
Multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about Gettysburg, you've heard about the story of Jenny Wade. If you're a Ghost Adventures fan, you've heard of the Jenny Wade house in Gettysburg. The Farnsworth house is where they believe that the shot came from that killed Jenny Wade.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some other stuff that goes on there at the Farnsworth house too. Some other interesting things.
Yes.
So that's how we kicked off season 2. Was with the Farnsworth house. And then yeah, so when we put out videos sometimes, and I'm only saying this because some of the comments that we get, we have a lot of footage that we haven't covered yet that we've already been to. So sometimes we only put out a video and we've been there at some point since 2010 to cover the 330 locations.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, well, be safe. No, we've already been there. So, just, I guess we should start saying in the videos, we did this for a while and then we stopped. We said, okay, we've been there in November 2016 or something like that.
Right.
I guess we need to bring that back because I'm starting to get comments, especially on Facebook. Hey, be safe, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Okay.
But in the description, I kind of put that. But ourhauntedtravels.com is actually kind of cool. I wish I would have started that 2 years ago and then I didn't have to backpedal. But it's pretty neat because we kind of like add to the videos and put a little bit more pictures and kind of personal experiences and stuff. All right, what did you get there?
We have wow, that's amazing from Sleeping Artist, and Murad's says that they shared it out on the Facebook community page. So
thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you refresh that again? Because that. But there. Now we're there. Got me picking my nose. My nose is itching.
Alrighty.
Well, okay, so can you bring up our channel?
Maybe not. You want just the regular YouTube channel?
Yeah, our channel. Let's go to youtube.com/PanicDVideos. I talked about the Farnsworth house. I don't know what else we covered. 2002.
2002?
Or season 2.
Jeez.
Give me a break, woman.
I have this one piece of hair here, this chunk that's just...
You got more than one.
Yeah, but it's like, this chunk is like weird shaped today and I can't make it go away. So, no, I cannot at this point. So, you'll just have to talk about something else.
Why is this doing this? Huh?
Don't know.
Huh? The tech gods hate me.
Well,
Lori Bryant's here. Hello. You're not late.
Stuff it came out now. What do you want?
All right, click on videos.
Okay. It'll probably take another 10 minutes to load. All right, what do you want?
I wonder if it's like interrupting with the cell service. I don't know. I don't think I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm not going to mess with it because we have a pretty good string. I'm sorry. Click home again.
You're going to make it try to load again.
Let's see what we can blow up next.
Please don't.
All right, so did anybody answer us what they got going on today? I don't think they did.
I don't think you asked.
Oh, okay. Hey, what do you guys got going on this weekend?
All you asked
Anything fun?
So far.
Let us know. We are chilling out. Last night we had a long day yesterday. We went to work, and it started out to be a nice, relaxing Friday at work. Started out to be. Then for me, it kind of derailed. Not going to talk about that because there's pending cases still going on. Then we left work. We came home, kind of chilled out a little bit, and we went to Aurora last night for my niece's senior night. We didn't get home till late, but it was cold out. Wasn't it cold?
It was
Were you
very
cold?
cold.
A little chilly?
Yep.
All right, so what I want you to click on is slow down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That one. Profiles. That. Click that. All right, so we're going to go over some of the videos that we put out in season 2, and then Marianne's got some history stuff to talk about today. Happened today.
Mm-hmm. And
haunted history or related to haunted history or something like that. All right,
related.
Scroll down till you find the Farnsworth house. Farnsworth. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Up, right there, Farnsworth House. All right, so the next video that we talked about was the Spanish military hospital. That was actually the first location where we think that we kind of recognized that we had our first kind of like paranormal experience. It was related to the Spanish military hospital, and actually we talk about that in our book. But walking home from that, what was it? Was it a ghost hunt or a ghost tour?
It was a ghost tour.
Yeah, walking home back from that to the bed and breakfast, we had some interesting.
Hi, Marty's crew.
So, Tony, how's it going? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. So that's the Spanish military hospital.
And I actually had an experience inside of there.
Yeah, and Marianne had we didn't know it at the time.
No,
but
we didn't know it then.
We kind of think it was on the day tour when we did the historical tour there. But we talk about that in our book. Then we covered Castle Noel, so that was around Christmas time. Oh, you're not late. Never late. We have a revolving door live stream. People will come, people will go. We appreciate everybody stopping by. But when you do stop by, please hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and share it out if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. We're just having a relaxing day today. So we talked about Castle Noel. Or we did a video about Castle Noel. We've been there a couple of times. Not paranormal related, but that place is like, if you're into Christmas movies, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, a lot of the historical Christmas movies.
Yeah.
We like it.
Tony, your kids would just go. Andrew, I don't know if you ever took your kids there, but I don't think I've heard. They would like, just it's a great place for kids because it's just like, oh,
there's all kinds of stuff.
I'm trying to see what that name was. It was Pig Ribbit. I know that name for some reason.
Yes, they come on here.
Okay, so then the next thing we talked about was a Christmas Story House, which is in Cleveland. We did that the same day, right?
We did.
On that tour.
We did.
Went up to Cleveland Christmas Story House that was in the movie. And there was a report that came out on
news.
Yeah, it came out in the paranormal news that there was a paranormal group that was going to go there doing an investigation, blah blah blah. But there was never any results from it. So I don't know if they didn't find anything or stuff fell through or whatever. But
right,
yeah,
yeah. So that's why we actually did that one, and I think we even mentioned in there if anybody had heard of any of the results.
Yeah, let us know.
And we didn't hear anything from any of you so far.
Not yet.
So keep that in mind.
Then we covered Fort Zachary Taylor down in Key West.
That's right.
I want to say that was a cool place, but I didn't go back there that much because I was guarding our transportation.
Yes.
And it was hot, and it was like towards the end of the day, and I admit I was a little cranky.
He was.
So I kind of like, go ahead, go take pictures. I kind of wish I would have went back with you now, and we would have had video because that place looked cool.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
So go ahead, tell them about it a little bit.
Well, I remember you had rented some weird contraption for us to ride around.
It was an electric car. It was like a golf cart on steroids.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I was
And
worried about leaving it by itself because there was
yeah, because
hardly
there's
anybody
no
there
like,
when we went out there.
right. So there was only a couple other people there. It was towards the end of the day. They were like leaving, so we pretty much had the place to ourselves. And um, we went around and we looked at some of the main wall first, and then after that, you kind of like, I'll go see you
Yeah.
later. So I went to explore through some of the different other areas, and I remember just feeling like I wasn't supposed to be there. That there was somebody who was watching me, and I don't usually get that feeling. You do.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of weird, and it just the one area, and I don't even know what I would call it, but back in the one area, it just really, it was cool. I just, it was weird feeling, and I enjoyed it. um but that was an experience kind of without you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? Then we talked about or we did videos about the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Yeah, where we kind of got into
And that was
a
on the
little bit more.
same trip with the Spanish military hospital.
Mhm.
We actually did the lighthouse first, and then the following night we did the ghost tour in town. But yeah,
Right.
that was kind of the beginning of our paranormal
Yeah, that's the one where
adventure.
we make fun of you because you turned down the idea of using ghost
Yeah,
hunting tools.
getting a K2 meter. Yeah.
Mhm.
So then the Christchurch Burial Grounds,
Mhm.
very interesting place, the burial site of Benjamin Franklin and several other signers of the Declaration of Independence. That's in
Right.
Philadelphia.
Mhm.
And some other prominent, um,
Early American history.
yeah,
individuals.
founding fathers and those
Yes.
who hung around with the founding fathers.
Yeah, it was really, it was a awesome place,
it's an
and I
interesting
enjoyed it.
cemetery.
Yeah.
Then we covered the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. It's
Right.
a National Civil Rights Museum, and that is the location. If you've never been there before, um, you actually the facade of the hotel has been preserved in some of the rooms,
Right.
but the back end of it they built a big museum. But
Correct.
that's the location where Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Hmm.
Uh, when we were in Memphis, I forget what year it was.
Like,
We have some other Memphis stuff
Yeah, it
coming
was a
out,
while
Sun
back.
Studio and Graceland and things like
Yeah.
that. But
it was a while back. It wasn't that long after we got married, because that was when, my credit card company
yeah, I ran up her
made me
credit card bill.
call her, made me call it, to verify that I was making this purchase of this guitar. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like my normal things. They know I buy creepy, weird stuff on eBay, but a guitar, really? Yes. Then we went and we did some other historical things. We went to the Senator John Hines History Museum in Pittsburgh, and there we got to see
The Apollo,
the Apollo
Well,
capsule.
the Columbia.
The capsule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that museum actually has some hauntings as well, so we got to explore both of those at the same time. That
Got
was
to
pretty
saw
cool.
some of the got to see some of the sets from Mr. Rogers
Yes.
there too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then we did a video about the Hollywood sign. And I think creepy weird stuff. Okay, guitar. Wait a minute. Yep, I got a guitar from the
Gibson Guitar Factory.
Factory in Memphis, which isn't there anymore.
Yes, they
Unfortunately,
moved.
they sold that and they consolidated with Nashville. But I have a custom Les Paul. It's blue with blue flames and silver. Yeah, silver frets and stuff.
Yeah.
Got that from that
Direct from the factory.
Okay, so Hollywood sign. We covered the Hollywood sign. We also did the
Behind the haunting for
Peg-
Entwistle.
Pig and Twistle.
Mhm.
Yeah, that week, and yeah, that was from our trip when we went to L.A.
That's right. Well, you went to LA. I didn't go to LA.
No,
I stayed in Anaheim at my conference, and you and my sister actually went out to LA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did not get to see that. You did. It was one of those ones where you got to see it and I didn't.
Yeah,
I've gotten
went
to
on
see a few that you didn't too.
we have some more videos about L.A. coming out too at some point. Um, that you didn't experience, but
Exactly.
I did. Okay, so then we did a video about the 6 presidents that we have been to so far.
The 6 presidents' burial sites
Grave sites
that we've been to.
Yes, 6 so far.
Yeah.
Um,
We have a few more on the list.
a lot more on the list. It's just got a plan. There's one actually not too far, but we can't
We can't seem to get it together.
can't seem to get there. McKinley.
Yeah.
McKinley's from Niles, but he's actually buried in Canton, North Canton. We drove by it several times, but we haven't stopped. So
Right.
That's on the list. So that would make 7. But
Would.
yeah. So then we did a whole series or week on the White House and the paranormal claims about the White House.
And also Mount Vernon.
Did we do that week? Oh, okay.
So we got to talk about that one as well.
Okay. And then we covered Sachs Bridge,
Mm-hmm.
which we've been there several times. That's in Gettysburg.
That's right.
Very interesting location. I think we talked about the snake and the cigarette.
Oh yeah, the snake. Oh, scary
We
snake.
had the cigarette video.
Yes. And then we had our visit. We went to Hotel Conneaut, and on the way to Hotel Conneaut, I stopped by the Clarence Darrow house.
And on the way back.
And on the way back, we
I got
stopped
footage
again.
to finish that video on.
That's right.
So that's in
And,
Kinsman, Ohio.
Right. And 2 weeks from now, I hope to be able to get to another important location with Clarence Darrow, or maybe 2, or in Chicago. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They loved the bridge one, and let's see, I couldn't read that one.
I switched accounts, couldn't see them.
Max Sullivan.
That's Yankee.
Oh, Yankee. All right.
Had to switch accounts because we couldn't see them.
Oh, we love to see you, Yankee.
Yeah.
And anyhow, then as we went on from that point, we went and talked about Ford's Theater and some Lincoln things. We did a bunch of Lincoln items
Yeah,
around
we
the
did
same time.
Ford's Theater, the Peterson House across the street where he actually passed away. We did the Lincoln train and all that stuff that week.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning of season 2. We did a lot of videos in a year.
What? We did?
That's a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that one is actually, that next one that we did, the Old Mill, was pretty close to us being there. We put that one out, which is rare.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of like starting to be able to do that now, to put them out as we've been there. And the Old Mill, I want to go back and do an investigation there, which you can. It is paranormal friendly.
It is, actually.
And they put on a conference. It's just at a weird... That's actually, the conference is coming up the same time we're at Hotel Conneaut. I think is their paranormal conference. So if you're in the Dundee, Michigan area, there's a paranormal conference going on at the Old Mill.
Yankee wants to know how many hours of edited footage we have for the year. Stuff that we don't use.
Wow.
That's really hard. That's a lot. So we record a lot of things.
Yeah. Knock on wood, we very rarely have anything that kind of like falls onto the cutting room floor. Like, very rarely do we have mistakes that get caught out. When I do some trimming, I try to shorten the videos as much as I can and cut some of the stuff off. But I try to keep it like as much as possible, because basically the style of our videos is Mary Ann and I having a conversation. If you watch our videos, and it's kind of the way we used to do our podcast, where we just sit in there and talk with each other for like an hour and put that out. And now it's in video form. So I try to keep that. What's the word I'm looking for? That
format where we're just kind of
we're just sitting here talking,
relaxed and
and just
bantering.
discussing. Like, hey, did you know? Well, of course we know, but it's like we're having a conversation back and forth.
But see, how we started coming up with that was one of us would sit on one couch, one sit on the other, and we would be doing
guess
stuff.
what? Actually, you were doing that today when she starts talking about some of the history stuff. Guess what I found out about
and
today?
so that's how we started that whole like
Yeah, so that's kind of
version or
like the
how we do it.
format of our video. So rarely do we have like a mistake, or I might say, "Oh, that's kind of like boring. Let's do that again," or something. Um, or it's just where most of our mistakes happen is in the beginning. The
Yeah, that
beginning of the videos.
starting
Try to
like,
get into it. Like sometimes I'll
hey, did
say,
you hear about da da
"Hey,
da
if
da da?
you're into the history, paranormal, and forensic," and crap, it's supposed to be paranormal history forensic. Stop, do it again, or ring that bell and she'll forget to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
this
the
that kind of
actual
stuff.
stuff is very rarely
Or if we're
cut
on
out.
site, if somebody walks by, like right front or behind, okay, we'll do take two, and that gets cut out. But not a lot of like on the editing floor, like bloopers or stuff like that. But there are some.
Yes, there are some. But as far as what we record when we're at the locations, you do use a lot of it,
Yeah,
almost all of it, and sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I had more.
yeah. Sometimes I wish I had more footage, but then Marian's got my back with her pictures, and then sometimes I get too much footage. It's kind of hard to do that, but there is a lot. We actually have a 32 terabyte network drive that everything gets backed up to, and I think we're probably at 12, 12, 15% full on there. So
Okay.
since 2010, that's not that bad, but yeah, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of SD cards,
Yeah.
a lot of. I have two portable hard drives. That's a long answer to that
It is
question.
a
But
long
anyways,
answer.
sorry. All right, where
Do you
were
want to
we
get
at?
back to
Yeah, so then
this?
we covered the Steam
The
Ferry
Steam Fair
Berkeley.
in Berkeley out in San Diego. And
Yeah.
that was
See, now
last
that
year's
one,
trip.
that's a good example. We didn't have a lot of footage because we didn't go inside. We didn't take the tour. We went into the gift shop, which is okay, but there was a reason why we didn't take the tour. It was very expensive. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. And I don't think they allowed us to video inside on the tour. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. So we'll just get it from outside. So I didn't really have enough footage, but we stretched it. Or I stretched it during the editing to tell the story. But
But I got a piece.
she got a piece of the thing. She went and smooth talked the. Oh, was that the owner or
I
one of
don't
the
know if he
workers?
was the
So,
owner or not, but was it a haunted gift shop? Well, it's a haunted boat,
yeah,
so
well,
yes.
yeah, the gift shop's in the boat, and the boat is haunted. So,
Yeah.
yes,
But I got one of the original rivets from the ship. They
from the
were
decking, they're
doing
replacing the
some
decking.
yes, they were doing some upkeep on it, and they were taking out some of the old floorboards and things like that. And yeah, the I said, hey, what are you doing with those
Yeah, that's
pieces
what
of wood?
Tony's from San Diego.
Yes.
Um, yeah, she got a piece of it.
Yeah.
So
So
that
I
was
said,
pretty
"What are
cool.
you doing with that wood there? Can I have a piece?" And he's like, "I got something
That's
better
something
for
like
you."
original piece of it. So.
Yes. He said, "You want one of these?" And he gave me one of the original rivets. That was really cool.
All right, so then we went and did the Bigfoot conference, and we stopped off at the next few weeks. How many we got there? Three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a video on the conference, and then we did a video on Mount Washington Tavern, Fort Necessity. We went back and investigated General Braddock's gravesite, and we did a video on the Stonehouse Restaurant, which we went not this year, but the year previous is where we stayed. It's a bed and breakfast.
Hmm.
So we just stopped back and got some footage and got those out of the way.
Yeah. Then we did some things local to us.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing the Strock House and also the Austin Log Cabin. So we did some of those that are real close by, right here in our own hometown. And then we went back to San Diego again.
Yep, the Mission Park.
That was a cool one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would
I
like
wish
to
we
go back there.
Yeah, I wish
again.
we would spend more time there,
Yeah.
but I think we said in the video or at some point live stream or whatever that was actually our first Uber ride when we were there, and we
I'm not
kind of
sure
didn't know
exactly
how
how
it
that
worked.
worked.
I was worried because we were so far out away from the hotel and from Old Town where we wanted to go that we would get stranded there. So I kind of like begged the guy to wait, and he goes, "It really doesn't work that way." And I'm like,
So we had
Hurry
like
up, man. Let's
five
go,
minutes.
let's go, let's go, let's go. Because he said he'd wait 5 minutes. Um, but I didn't know. I never did Uber before that. We could have did the thing to get another Uber. We could have spent half hour to an hour there. But
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
oh well, now we know.
Yeah. So we didn't actually go back to San Diego that time.
No,
that
no,
was
no.
still
This is
just
from a
revisiting
previous
it.
trip. Yeah.
But we
And we have more
did
San
another
Diego
trip
footage.
video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we went on vacation for our July.
Well, that trip was supposed to be a short vacation, and it became our full vacation
It
because
was, yeah.
didn't quite get to make the full vacation that we wanted to because my stomach wasn't cooperating. So by the time we got back, we just said, okay, we're just going to hang out at home and relax before work started back up again. But yeah, okay, so that trip this past summer was supposed to be the short one.
Mm-hmm.
We went here, kidnapped my dad, and went with my sister and niece to. We stayed in Wheeling, but we went down to Moundsville, and then uh, the next day we went to I forget the name of the cemetery, but we're looking for Sylvester Donnelly,
Mm-hmm.
my great grandfather. Then they came back home, and we kept going. So we went from there to Athens, uh, Ohio, and did locations around there. Went from there on our way to Point Pleasant. We stopped at the Hope Furnace, which recently we just put that video out. Went down to Point Pleasant and covered
The Low Hotel.
Low Hotel, Mothman Museum. We didn't do the Point Pleasant Cemetery video, which we were supposed to in October, but we didn't get to it. And we went to Clopicus and covered the tavern there. That we didn't do that video yet. The Tuandaway State Park, Silver Bridge, State Hotel or State Theater. Most of the Point Pleasant, I think there might be 2 or 3 left for Point Pleasant.
I think we did most of them.
Right. So then we left Point Pleasant, and where'd we go? We went to Parkersburg. So we got to do those videos from Parkersburg. And then we went from Parkersburg to Weston, West Virginia, and went to Trans-Allegheny, which we haven't done those videos yet. And then we came home. Right. So that was our summer vacation. Very cool. 20 summer vacations that we were able to hit. It was a cool vacation. We didn't get to quite do what we wanted to do. We wanted to drive out to Fall River and do that, but we didn't. Okay. So then.
Yeah, then we didn't go on the second trip, was which we were going to go up to New England and do Boston and go back to Fall River, and we just
Connecticut.
didn't quite get there.
We wanted to hit Sleepy Hollow, New York.
But maybe another trip.
Yeah, we got it planned out.
Yeah.
So maybe next summer.
Yeah.
Well, next summer we were thinking about St. Augustine again, but at some point.
Yeah. All right. So
then we had visitors.
We did.
We had visitors
Caps?
that came with us. We had Lori and we had Kay and Matt from Happy Trails Hiking came out, and they drug my butt out on some trails to go see some waterfalls. And we went to the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Yes. So we got one more video from that trip, I think, maybe a couple more, because we got to do the bridge from there, and there might be a couple more we got to do. But that was a fun weekend. We had a blast. Yeah, and then the following weekend we went to Marietta. It's here, Bottle Caps. Hey, Bottle Caps, how you doing? Yeah, we went to Marietta. Right. This was this the week or 2 weeks before your sister's wedding?
It was really close.
Yeah, it was close. Joanne wanted to go on another trip before they got married, and we didn't make it to Marietta because we rerouted stuff this summer. Marietta's real close to Parkersburg, and I wanted to go to a couple places in Marietta. I'm glad that we did it this way because there was more places in Marietta we didn't have on the original list. So we got more stuff from Marietta, but we got to go to that People's Mortuary Museum, which was very cool. Video didn't do that well. I thought it would do better, but that one kind of didn't do that well. I don't know. Maybe people were just a little bit like, really? There's a museum dedicated to
The mortuary
embalming and
sciences.
funeral, but the cars that they have in there is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty cool. Then from there we did our went back to San Diego. Well, we didn't physically go back. We did virtually with you guys. Uh,
El Campo Santo.
Campo Santo Cemetery, and
Mhm.
kind of shared a little bit of the investigation that we did there. We got a cold spot in there. That one was quite interesting.
Yeah, that's the
Which
one.
is the reports.
That's the one where they buried people and then they put a street over it.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Like,
So
oh yeah, when you
paranormal
drive
people,
over here, yeah, driving over somebody's body.
paranormal. Those of you who are paranormal, and Tony, because he's from San Diego, have heard about the Whaley House, which we went to and we toured the Whaley House.
Yeah.
Haven't done those
Never
videos
did
yet.
that video yet.
But one of the number one claims or spirits or whatever at the Whaley House is something Jim, the guy who was actually hung on that property from the tree that's supposedly haunting the Whaley House. He is buried in El Campo Santo Cemetery too, which is right down the street, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's one of the ones that's in the street and his spirit travels down to
I don't remember his name being one of the ones in the street,
something
but you know,
Jim.
yeah.
Then we covered in October we wanted to cover our cemeteries because there's like 30 some cemeteries that we've been to, and there's something happened within our personal sphere of friends and coworkers and stuff, and we kind of throttled that down. We had a loss of a someone who was actually pretty close to us. He used to work for me when he was a student and when he was going to college. And Marianne had him as a student too. He actually took the photos at our wedding for us, so he was pretty close. And he passed away unexpectedly and very young. He was only 31 years old. So we kind of throttled down the cemetery videos, and that was kind of like the beginning of maybe our absence a little bit here in October. We were dealing with that. We got other stuff we were dealing with in personal life, and I know you guys understand that life comes first sometimes. So we have a lot of cemeteries yet to cover,
and we
so
thought
those
we were
are
going to
coming.
get through a bunch of them this year and
But
get.
it was
more
just kind of
taken
like
care
I
of.
really didn't want to like put those out and promote them. It was I just well, number one, I wasn't into it personally to edit them, so yeah, we'll get to them.
But then I had to plan that zombie run, and so
Yeah, then we had the zombie run and other things
Yeah.
with trees, and yeah.
Let's not talk about trees. So anyways, Marty said that he's been past El Campo Santo and didn't even know it was haunted.
Did you notice the little things on the sidewalk where it
And in
says
the street?
gravesite,
Yeah.
gravesite, gravesite
Yeah,
on the sidewalk?
it's really cool. You'll have to go and check it out for sure. And Michael Anchors is here and says hi as well.
Oh.
So hello to you.
Those of you coming in, hey, we are 43 minutes into this. Marianne's going to be covering a little bit of things that happened today. I don't know if it's this day in history or like creepy stuff for this day, but
It's
Marianne's
kind
going
of
to
a
talk
little
about that
both.
here in a little bit. We're going to probably go over an hour, but everything seems to be working well. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do. Please hit that thumbs up. If you want to share it out, go ahead. If not, Bottle Caps did a live show last night. I'm going to have to go check it out. Did you show your face? Did you show your face? I'm telling you, if you did, it'll go viral.
Yeah, because everybody's been dying to see that. Keeps it a secret.
One of the live streams I was on with Bottle Caps, he was setting off fireworks. Was that what you did last night? The fireworks for Halloween? Curious.
Marty's gonna go and check it out next time he's back home. So.
All right, so back to our videos because there's only a few more, then we're done with that list.
These two.
Oh, so then we did, two more. We did the Weeping Angel of West State Street. I actually walked around, did an investigation, shared that with everybody. And then we covered the Night Watchman of the Hope Iron Furnace, which was our stop from Athens to Point Pleasant. We stopped there at the Hope Furnace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now Bottle Cap says that no, he did not show his face.
No?
Nope. Said there were fireworks, but it was the next morning in his email. Sorry about that. All right, and Michael says that he recently released a song. So congratulations on that. And Bottle Cap said he had 3 community violations in the because of
Holy
the video.
cow.
Wow.
What'd you do, man?
I know. Bottle Caps. 3 in one day. All right. So anyhow, you were mentioning a couple times, and I was going to say some things from history.
So
today.
these things that happened today, Marianne's going to talk about. Once you leave that one last.
Which one?
This one.
Okay.
And work up to it.
Yeah.
And then we'll end with that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you got about 15, 20 minutes.
All right.
Go ahead. Floor is yours.
So the first thing that I thought was that you guys might be interested or enjoy is the idea that today was the day that Howard Hughes...
Okay, stop just for a second. So the whole point of covering like season 2, I'm going to finish my stuff up, is if you didn't catch any of those, there's a playlist called... Hit that. Our Haunted Travels Paranormal History Profiles. That's the list that we just went through of all those different places, and then they link off to the videos that are associated with them. Or you could go to ourhauntedtravels.com, where we're doing blog posts about these. You can get caught up with season 2 if you missed any of those and you're interested in those locations. And then, okay, so now here's Marianne talking about history stuff. Go ahead.
Goodness. So anyhow, as I was saying, I thought you guys might be interested in hearing a couple of these little tidbits. I'm into like what happened today, kind of stuff recently. Yeah. And so a couple of days ago, actually, was the day that the Donner Party actually set up their winter camp. So I told the kids at school about that one. They thought that was totally crazy and creepy because I told them about, they were cannibals.
Who's the Donner Party?
One of the other teachers actually said, "Hey, when you brought that up on the slide,
Stop looking at me
I was like, is she gonna really go there?" And then, yep, she did.
Did you explain to the kids who the Donner Party?
I did.
Holy cow! In the morning meeting.
In the morning meeting, and then
have a great day, Newton Falls.
I tied it to the fact that I was gonna make our principals eat the zombie Skittles in front of the whole student body, which was really cool. By the way, they definitely enjoyed them quite a lot. But anyways, today was in history when Howard Hughes actually flew the Spruce Goose for the one and only time.
Does anybody know where he flew that at? If you know, tell us in chat. If you're from the West Coast, you should know this. And where did he fly?
This close.
The Spruce Goose?
We were this close to seeing the Spruce Goose.
We were.
But they ended up moving it.
Bottle Caps is close. It was on the West Coast. You're right. We're at on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were close to see it. Now it's where in Oregon?
I think so. Yeah, but when
it was originally here where I'm talking about.
When we were on one of my biology conferences,
anybody? Anyone?
We got to
Anyone?
see the building.
See, too late now. You're Googling it. I know there's a delay. But
I know there's a delay. I don't want to keep going without them.
That's okay. Keep going.
All right. So when we were out in where?
Long Beach.
Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, California.
When we were out there, we were visiting the Queen Mary.
What else is in Long Beach, California? Anybody know?
I just told them.
Oh, Queen Mary. Never mind.
Yeah, so anyways, when we were out there visiting the Queen
It's
Mary,
in the building in Long Beach in California next to Queen Mary. It used to be. They moved it.
Yeah, and by the time we got out to the Queen Mary, it was already moved. So we did not get to see it ourselves.
But there's that big dome. If you ever see pictures of the Queen Mary and there's like a big dome next to it, that used to be where you can go and actually see the Spruce Goose, which that would have been awesome.
It would have been very cool.
I'm like, I am. I don't know about you, but Howard Hughes is like one of those historically, like I like to research that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I know you do.
Hmm.
I was not like a huge fan of Howard Hughes stuff, but there's a few things that are pretty cool. And then, of course, they do now have um, they have a program that they do for science research and things like that. That they put out a lot of good things. The Howard Hughes Medical Center. So, anyways, also today.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that plywood for the spruce goose was harvested in British Columbia.
Very cool bottle
I know they
caps.
probably needed a lot of it. That was a big boat. Oh, great.
Yeah,
All right, what else you got?
that's the other one of the other things that I thought was really cool was today is actually the day that well, tonight and into tomorrow morning is the anniversary of the 1957 Loveland, Texas UFO sighting. It was one of the most popular UFO sightings in the United States. 15 different people actually reported seeing some sort of weird alien type craft. And it was investigated um, by Project Blue Book, even. Of course, they only spent 7 hours investigating it, talked to only 3 of the 15 people who
So it
saw
was a
it.
real in-depth
Yeah, it was
investigation.
real in depth. But they basically said that after talking to the first 3, one of who wasn't very credible because he only had like a grade school education and things like that, that it was probably just a storm because it had been raining that day. And so it was probably just an electrical storm. And, that's what turned all their cars off and all that because it just was a moisture problem that shut down their vehicles and everything. But it comes later to find out that the storm had actually ended a lot earlier in the day and there wasn't anything actually going on right then. But multiple reports happened of their vehicles stopping, everything shutting completely out. And then they would see this craft and then it would leave. And when the craft would leave, then their cars would start again. And it was multiple people. It was 15 different individuals who reported things about it, including the police chief who was doing some investigation after some of the first ones, and and I believe it
Tony said
was
he read about it when he was a teen.
really.
Hmm.
And anyway, also I think it was like the fire chief or something like that also was involved in that, where he was one of the people who noticed some things happening. Um, but they only investigated it, Project Blue Book, for 7 hours, which I think is kind of a short thing. If you're going to send Project Blue Book to investigate it, to
Yeah.
only look into it for basically one day, because 7 hours, it's pretty much a work day. So, anyway, anybody have anything that they know about that particular
Well,
event?
Tony said he read about it when he was a teenager.
But anybody?
Anybody else hear about that? The UFO reports in Levelland,
Levelland,
Texas,
Texas. Yeah.
on this date, 1957. Is that what you said?
Yep.
A lot of reports back then. That's when all that YouTube and all that stuff was happening.
All right. Well, that's one of the things that I thought was interesting and tied to the paranormal that would work with today. But also, then today was also a special day for not exactly a paranormal thing, but really Halloweeny. But didn't come out on Halloween. Came out afterwards. Anybody have any idea what I'm talking about?
Give him the date,
Today is November 2nd,
the year.
1983.
Came out November 2nd, 1983, you said?
Yes.
Quite popular. I bet you everybody in here has heard of this. Lori says Ghostbusters.
Nope. Not quite, but you're along the right paths.
Okay, what was it?
Bottle Cap says, "How come only Americans see UFOs?" That's not actually true.
That's not true.
Others have seen them as well. Lori
Lori
Ryan
says
says,
Hocus
"Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus." Nope, not
No.
Hocus Pocus either. but you're getting along the right lines, and the idea that it was something Halloweeny that
All
came
right,
out
just tell him.
after Halloween.
Just tell him. Just tell him.
Turns out today was the day that the Thriller video was actually presented for the first time, and it wasn't on MTV. That didn't happen until December 2nd. So Thriller, the
14-minute video, right?
yes, but Thriller, the album, came out November 30th, 1982.
Okay.
Okay. And it wasn't until November 2nd of 1983 that the video was presented for the first time. And then December 2nd of 1983, it came out on MTV for the first time. But really, why after Halloween? Anybody know why it came out after Halloween?
Yeah, you think they would have released it on
Halloween,
think. But
yeah, it turned out that didn't happen, and there's good reason for it.
why don't you just go ahead and tell them?
Really, we don't want to let them know? It wasn't on MTV. It debuted at like the middle of the night. I remember talking about it at school. Yeah, it didn't debut on television. It actually debuted in a theater. And it was with some really influential celebrities at the time. There was, I have forgotten every single one of the people now.
Diana Ross.
See,
this is okay. When we started earlier, we said we sit there and talk this. This is how I know, because before I got ready for the show, we were talking about this. So Diana Ross, well, John Landon produced it, right?
Landis.
Yeah, John Landis. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's the one page that I lost.
She's having problems with internet.
Yeah, I am. Like Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yes. Eddie Murphy was there, and you said that
he actually asked for a
encore.
Encore. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't even know. I can't remember who they were, and I can't bring that page up. But a bunch of famous movie stars were actually involved in the actual original viewing, and
so tell them, they're asking why was it delayed.
Okay, good. So the reason why it was
actually
delayed
pretty interesting
was the album had been doing really, really well, but then the album started to slip in the ratings, and Michael wanted it to get back up again. So he's like, what could we possibly do? And so in August of 1983, they actually phoned up John Landis, who had been a director of some really big movies at the time, you know, the Blues Brothers, Trading Places, American Werewolf in London. Anyway, they called him up and said, hey, what do you think about doing something, you know, with the Thriller to turn it into a video? Because as you know, MTV was up now and videos were kind of becoming popular. Landis actually suggested that they do something a little bit more ambitious than just a little movie video. He thought that they should do a short film. And so he said, we'll get Hollywood makeup, we'll do it all up with great costumes, we'll even record it on 35 millimeter film. And Michael's like, that sounds amazing.
Guess what the price tag was? Take a guess. Anybody know? Take a guess.
Which is one of the reasons why the delay.
Yeah. So that timing. Price that we're going to tell them, was that for the video or for the 1 hour or whatever thing that they
That was for the original budget for the video.
For the video. Yeah. What do you think the original budget was for the 14-minute Thriller video? And don't Google it. Just take a guess.
Which, by the way, Michael Jackson ended up having to put in most of it by himself because he couldn't get anybody to fund it.
Yeah.
Including MTV, who said, are you kidding me? We don't pay for this stuff.
14 million. Well,
that's a little bit high.
Too much.
That's a little bit high.
It was $900,000.
Yeah. $900,000 was the required budget. And so anyways, Michael put up most of the money himself, and then he and his lawyer, John Branda, and Landis's production manager actually came up with an idea on how to get others to help pay for it and get them to want it. And it was the idea of doing a documentary on the making of the video. And so they had this idea, and they pitched it, MTV's like, yeah, that'd be great. And by the way, we want exclusive rights to it for at least a week. So they paid $250,000 for the rights to air the video and the documentary about it for a week before anybody else. Then Showtime came in. They put in $300,000. And so things kind of got moving. And that was in September. Okay. So then they had to decide, now that we have some funding, what are we exactly going to video and how are we going to shoot this? And they ended up not starting production until October 11th. Halloween is only a few weeks away.
I wonder if they targeted Halloween and it just didn't happen.
It just didn't happen, yeah. So they ended up filming it in 4 days. And basically it took them a little past October, because even after the filming, of course you have to kind of edit it and all that kind of stuff. You guys know about that. Mm-hmm. And then as time progressed, Michael's like, yeah, I want you to destroy all the footage.
We're just going to scrap it. I'm not doing this. We're not putting it out.
And the reason was that he was a
Jehovah's Witness.
And his church found out about it, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna excommunicate you if you put this out."
He got in trouble with his church,
and so Landis actually came up with a great, brilliant idea, and he's like, "We have to save this. We put a lot of time, energy, and money into this. We've sold the rights." So he's like, "What if you put out a disclaimer first that says you don't believe in any of this stuff, Michael?" And he's like, yeah, okay. And that's where that famous piece came in at the beginning, that disclaimer that says Michael doesn't believe in any of the stuff that's about to happen in this video. So anyways, he ends up doing that. The disclaimer comes out, due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress this film in no way endorses my belief in the occult. And Thrilly comes out. It's a huge success, and it's become known for a Halloween music video ever since, but in reality it didn't come out until after Halloween. Almost kind of like a Christmas video comes out.
It says in 2009 it was selected for the National Film Registry in this past Halloween, so this is a little bit old.
Right.
Barack and Michelle Obama did the zombie dance at the White House.
Yeah, in 2009. Yeah.
2009. Yeah. So there you have it. It actually came out today
to just really Hollywood elite.
Just a few people at a theater.
And then eventually December 2nd it comes out on MTV. Yeah. But that's
Did you guys learn something?
That's why it didn't come out on Halloween though. Few production issues.
Some new stuff today? Did you learn some new things today? If you did, cool.
Yeah. If you didn't, I thought it was cool. I thought you guys would appreciate it, but what are you doing?
That bubble not being.
I don't like it going that way.
Okay, so see that bubble's not even. It's kind of bugging. Who cares? It looks at level. Yeah, it looks level. All right, so we're over time.
We are.
We are.
Okay.
We hope you enjoyed coming and hanging out with us.
Reviewing our season 2 and getting a little bit of some creepy, weird, paranormal type stuff, and also a little pop culture that deals with today.
Next weekend, we are out at Hotel Cognac.
That's right.
We will have a break at 5, so we will go live. I don't know, depending on the weather, we'll do it outside like we did last year. If not, we'll do it from our room.
I think it'll probably be too cold for me.
Might do it from our room. That wasn't last year. That was April. We were there.
Which, by the way, we were watching in that guy. Haunted room.
Yeah, we were watching that guy try to fall in the water.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do it from our room because it is haunted. So we'll do it from our haunted room at Hotel Cognac. And then the following week, Chicago. Then the following weekend. What time does that start in Gettysburg? It doesn't start till later.
Did you mention Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not at 5, right?
I don't know.
That's a while away. Videos, location videos, probably going to take a break for a couple weeks. I want to get caught back up again. You saw how we got delayed here in October. So it's going to be a couple weeks before we'll come back with the location videos. But we will be going live. some changes coming to the channel for season 3. Changes. We're going to be changing some things. Number one, we're going to be changing our name. We're changing our name to Our Haunted Travels. It may be Our Haunted Travels by Panic D, because a lot of people call us Panic D.
You will have Panic D in the name. He's not getting rid of that in the name. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
OurHauntedTravels.com. Follow along on there. Join our mailing list. Next week we're going to be doing a promotion for Patreon too. So follow us on social media. We'll be putting that out. Something going on in November for Patreon. We're going to be changing some, our heading, because it says over 200. Well, we're over 331. So I'm going to change the heading. Not changing the thumbnails. I'm not going through that again. I've done that so many times. We're just going to keep the same format on the thumbnails.
Thank goodness.
I'm not doing that again. So just little tweaks and changes. We may get to, instead of having a hard schedule of 3 videos a week, changing it to 2, Tuesdays and Thursdays. If there's more about a location, or Marion does a recipe video, or a chocolate chip, another one for bottle caps, just call it Marion's channel. See that? He's like your biggest fan.
He is my biggest fan.
Or some little thing, then it'll come out like on a Wednesday or Friday. But Tuesdays and Thursdays will be our history and experience. If we have enough paranormal stuff, we will do a Boris video, which will come out on a Wednesday. But trying to keep up with 3 a week has been rough with everything that's going on. So I could do 2 a week. I know for sure. That would make you happy. Because it's not just me, folks. I do 90% of the work. The 10%, the research and the narration, requires my partner. And she's busy with schoolwork, and I didn't want to bug her.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of extra stuff we had to do this year.
Yeah.
Like, normally every school year, if you're in the education field, you realize that there's something new they want you to do. This year, we've had a ton of new things we've had to add, and it's been taking a toll.
So those are the changes that are coming.
Bottlecast says that 1 video a week is more than enough, and chocolate chip cookies, yes. All right. So that's your plans for coming up?
That's my plans.
Okay.
That's my plans. The name is going to be Our Haunted Travels, something with Panic D. So either Panic D, Our Haunted Travels, or Our Haunted Travels by Panic D.
I think it should be Panic D, Our Haunted Travels.
Well, we'll argue over that.
Okay.
OurHauntedTravels.com, though. Check it out.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
No? Want to thank you all for coming and playing with us this weekend. Hope you have a wonderful week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, folks, until next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting.